and he dives across the 30, and Stratford will begin their first possession of the 1986 season in pretty good shape. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, just across their own 30-yard line. They'll put it on the 31-yard line. So the Stratford Tigers come out, led by quarterback Todd Kolbeck and Jody Schwabe. Now, Schwabe might be in there to start this ball game at quarterback. That was something we had not determined before before game time, and it will be Schwabe starting at quarterback with Gary Zilke and Robin Kaiser lined up in a split backfield behind him. It's a wing right formation. On the first play, Gary Zilke, the fullback, goes straight ahead. He stopped up, however, in the middle of the line by Doug Rail, and there's virtually no gain. They may give Zilke about 1 yard out to the 32-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Stratford will do a lot of running tonight. On 2nd down, the handoff goes to Kaiser, gets outside to the 35, crosses the 40, and spins across the 45-yard line and stopped by Mike Olson near midfield. A fine run by Robin Kaiser, and that'll be a first down for the Stratford Tigers. As Kaiser carries all the way out to the 49-yard line, it's a 17-yard gain and a first down for Stratford, our first of the evening. We're just underway here at Loyal High School. 0-0, Stratford and Loyal in this season opener. Again, a split backfield behind Schwabe, who will throw for it. He's rushed and throw to the far sideline. Incomplete. Tried to hit Mike Bright at about the 40-yard line of Loyal, but he received a heavy rush from Todd Olson, Loyal defensive tackle, one of the 3 seniors on this Loyal ball club, and so Schwabe had to hurry that pass.
Stratford, known for their ground game, of course, decided to arrow it out early, but was incomplete.
Dennis Dahl, the wing to the far side. The 2 ends, Bright and Schmidt, are tight on 2nd and 10. Split backfield. Now Dahl comes in motion. Schwabe will hand straight ahead to Zilke. He crosses the 50, gets about 5 yards, and is stopped near the Loyal 45-yard line. Mark Stumpner, defensive end, on that stop at the Loyal 46. That is a 5-yard gain, and it's 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for Stratford at the Loyal 46-yard line. Now Mike Bright splits out to the far side, and Stratford comes out in a slot formation. The handoff straight ahead to Gary Zilke. He's within a yard of the first down. That's the first time we've seen the Greyhounds abandon their wing formation. Doug Rail makes the stop on Zilke at about the 42-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain for Zilke and brings up a 4th and 1. So we'll see what Coach Tom Knopf wants to do here. It's 4th and 1 Tigers at the Loyal 42. The Tigers will go for it. They'll run from a wing left formation, and Schwabe will hand off to Dahl, who gets outside across the 35-yard line, down the sideline of the 30, the 20, the 10, and pushed out of bounds near the 10-yard line by Mike Olson. A touchdown-saving tackle by Mike Olson, but a great run, moves the ball down near the 10-yard line of Loyal, and a first down situation for Stratford. They'll place the ball on the 13-yard line. A 29-yard run, and a 1st and 10 for Stratford at the Loyal 13. Schwabe runs the option, comes to the near side. He cuts back at the 10-yard line, cuts again to the 5, is hit near the goal line, and is stopped near the goal line. He is in for the score. A 13-yard run by quarterback Joe Schwabe, and that puts Stratford on the scoreboard. It's a 6-play, 79-yard touchdown drive for the Stratford Tigers, and the Tigers lead early 6-0. And as we may have expected, Ron, the Stratford Tigers pretty impressive against this young Loyal bunch.
Yes, with everything picked up on the ground.
And so the Stratford Tigers up by a 6-0 count. They will attempt the 2-point conversion. Dahl and Zilke split behind Schwabe. Schwabe will hand to Dahl off tackle, and he is stood up by Reith, and he did not get in. As Rick Reith not allowing Dahl in that end zone. However, Stratford scores first tonight, and with 9:39 remaining in the first period, our score is Stratford 6 and Loyal 0. We'll come back to Loyal following this message.
Banking at Citizens.
I see.
Well, the Stratford Tigers break off to a 6-0 lead. A pretty impressive drive there on the opening kickoff run.
Yeah, it's pretty ominous, perhaps, because we suspected from the very beginning of tonight's ball game that Loyal would probably be overmatched because of their inexperience, and that's the way the game has started anyway.
Chad Brandel back in single safety for the Loyal Greyhounds.
He's waiting for the official's whistle there.
Darryl Schrader will kick it off for Stratford. And here is his kick, an end-over-end kick, and an upman, Jadarsky, takes it at the 15-yard line, and he is stopped just across the 25. And so the Loyal Greyhounds will start this series at about their own 26-yard line. And they're going to move it up to about the 28, I believe. 1st and 10, Loyal at their own 28-yard line. The Loyal quarterback is sophomore Brad Jadarsky. His halfback is Rick Reith. The fullback, Doug Rail. Starting wingback is Phil Stratton. And on the first play, Jadarsky will throw over the middle and hit his tight end, Tom Abramson. A short gain. He stopped just across the 30-yard line by Mike Bright and by Dennis Dole. But Jadarsky gets that first pass completion out of the way. Gains about 3 yards. They'll spot it on the 31-yard line. It's 2nd and 7 for Loyal at their own 31. Rail and Reith split backfield behind Jadarsky. The ends are tight, wing to the far side. Jadarsky will turn and hand the ball off to Reith. Tries to get outside. Now cuts back to the 35-yard line and is stopped right there. Dan Schmidt on the stop for the Stratford Tigers, and Reith gets it out to the 36-yard line. Picks up 5, and it's now 3rd and about 2 for Loyal. We talked to Marshfield Tiger coach Ken Bjorkman earlier this week. He was very impressed with Dan Schmidt in a scrimmage between these two ball clubs last weekend. 3rd and 2 for Loyal. Chad Jadarsky again leads them out, and he wants to throw. No, it's a handoff. It's a draw play to Doug Rail. He gets out to the 40-yard line, and it looks like he's got the first down. Doug Rail on the draw gets 4 yards to the 40-yard line, and a first down for Loyal, their first of the evening. We have 8:05 remaining in the first period. Stratford leads Loyal 6-0 in this high school football game at Loyal High School. Happy to have you with us tonight here at WDLB. Bert Rising now in the ball game for Loyal. He is a wing to the near side. On 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds, Jadarsky rolls out, comes to the near side, being pursued by Mike Wright. Now tosses it to the near side and throws the ball out of bounds. The only Loyal ball player in the area was Tom Abramson, but he was about 10 yards downfield. A couple of Stratford ball players were between the ball and Abramson, and Jadarsky was lucky he tossed that ball over the sideline. There may have been an interception there.
Yeah, he was wise enough to throw the ball away because Dolman was open.
He was rushed heavily, primarily by Mike Bright and Dan Schmidt, but those Stratford ball players could not get to Jadarsky. So it's 2nd and 10 Loyal at the Greyhound 40-yard line. Jadarsky on the delayed handoff gives the ball to Rick Reith. He plunges straight ahead across the 45-yard line, gets about 6. And again, Dan Schmidt on the stop with help from Dennis Dole. Those two Stratford ball players combine on the tackle. They'll mark the ball just across the 45-yard line. It's 3rd and a long 4. We'll see what Loyal coach Bill Jadarsky wants to do here. He will send a wide receiver, Chad Brandel, to the far side as a wing, double tight end. Jadarsky sets the line down, takes his time, and now drops back, wants to throw. It's a screen pass over the middle to Rick Reith. It's set up well, gets outside across the 50 to the 45, sidesteps 2 tacklers, and is finally tackled at around the Stratford 35-yard line. The Loyal Greyhounds run that middle screen very, very well. It's a big gainer and another first down for Loyal.
35-yard line, 1st and 10.
Boy, Chad Jadarsky, the sophomore quarterback, showing a lot of poise. That play gets them down to the Stratford 36-yard line. It's a 19-yard pickup. And Loyal once again has a first down with under 7 minutes to play in the first period. Stratford leading Loyal by a score of 6-0. From the wing left, Jadarsky will hand the ball to Reith. He juggles it but maintains possession and is hit as he goes through the line of scrimmage. He fights his way across the 35-yard line, picks up about 1 yard on the play. Rick Reith just so far has been the big ball handler for the Loyal Greyhounds. The ball just inside the 35-yard line. It's 2nd and 9 for Loyal. Stratford digging in. They're playing a 5-2 monster. Will set their defense for you. Mike Bright and Chris Spindler on the ends. Paul Worrell, Dan Schmidt the tackles. Gary Zilke the nose man. From a wing left formation, Jadarski goes back to throw, rolls, throws to the far corner, and nobody is there. Chad Brandel got tied up with defensive back Todd Kolbeck. They both went down, and Jadarski threw the ball over everybody's head, incomplete.
Well, it was a down-and-out pattern, but he had to throw it before he wanted to because of a big rush.
So Loyal faced with a 3rd and long situation. It's 3rd and about 9 for the Greyhounds, just inside the Stratford 35-yard line. Loyal Greyhounds moving the ball very, very well. From the wing left formation, Chad Jadarski on the draw, hands the ball to Doug Rail. He goes nowhere. Maybe a yard, smelled out nicely by Gary Zilke and by Paul Worrell, and that play gains very little yardage. So Loyal is looking at 4th and long, 4th and about 8 from the Stratford 34-yard line. We'll see what the Greyhounds want to do. We're more than halfway through the first quarter. And Chad Jadarski leads them out. It looks like the Greyhounds will go for it. 4th and 8 for Loyal at the Stratford 34-yard line. Wing left formation, double tight end. The line is down, and Jadarski drops back. He will throw in the pocket, throw to the near sideline, and overthrows Rick Reith at the 30-yard line. Reith was wide open, although there were some defenders right in front of him ready to make the tackle before he got the first down yardage. But Jadarski threw the ball over his head, incomplete, and so the Loyal drive stalls out. Stratford takes over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. We have 5:18 remaining in the first period, and Stratford leads Loyal by a score of 6-0. And now Stratford comes out in a wing right formation on 1st down. The quarterback Schwabe will pitch the ball. We're on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. We have 5:18 remaining in the first period, and Stratford leads Loyal by a score of 6-0. And now Stratford comes out in a wing right formation on 1st down. The quarterback Schwabe will pitch the ball outside to Robin Kaiser. He sweeps the far side, crosses the 35, gets a few yards before Tom Abramson and Chad Brandel make the hit on him just across the 35. They'll put it on the 37-yard line. That's a 3-yard gain, and 2nd and 7 for Stratford.
That play was well defended by Loyal. They had the quarterback and the pitch man both pretty well covered that time.
Now John Schmidt comes wide to the near side. Kaiser, the slot man, inside him on 2nd and 7. And Schwabe to throw, rolls near side, now fires. The ball is tipped. A dive by Dean Schiller. We'll see if he makes the interception. Let's see what the officials say. They say it is an interception by Dean Schiller. That ball was tipped by a defensive lineman, and Dean Schiller picks off the pass. He makes an interception. He dove headlong to grab that ball out of the air, and so Loyal takes over. They get a big break. It's 1st and 10 Greyhounds at the Stratford 38-yard line. 4:20 remaining, first period. Stratford leading by a score of 6-0. Jadarski will throw. He's going to throw deep down the far sideline for Chad Brandel, who dives and can't reach it inside the 10-yard line.
Double coverage that time by Stratford on Brandel, but the ball was overthrown anyway.
So a 2nd and 10 now for Loyal at the Stratford 38-yard line. That was some interception by Dean Schiller. The ball was tipped as it went through the line, and Schiller, diving in the defensive secondary, made a great play. 2nd and 10 for the Greyhounds at the Stratford 38-yard line. Brandel wing near side. Reith and Rail in the backfield. The handoff to Reith. He's hit in the backfield by Dan Schmidt and dropped for no gain. Dan Schmidt. He's quite a ball player, 6'2", 250 senior, and he's made some key defensive plays already.
And there were 2 other Tigers there to put the stop on Reith as well.
Well, that puts Loyal in a 3rd and long situation. It's 3rd and 10 for the Greyhounds. At the Stratford 38, we'll see if the Greyhounds decide to throw here. They'll send Stratton near side as the wing. Rail and Reith, the split backfield behind Chad Jadarski. Jadarski drops back to throw, straight in the pocket, now throws to the far side. He has Olson out there, and the ball's knocked down by Todd Kolbeck at the 15-yard line. A deep out pattern by Mike Olson and Todd Kolbeck, and Jody Schwabe on the double team, and it was Kolbeck who got an arm up and knocked it away.
Now it's 4th down and long. Let's see if they'll punt and try to put Stratford back perhaps inside the 10-yard line.
Well, let's see what the Loyal strategy was. On their last series, they had a 4th and long at the 34 and did not punt. Now it's 4th and 10 at the 38, and still they do not punt as they go into their wing formation. Here's a pitch to Brandel, and he will quick kick it down the field to the 5-yard line and into the end zone for a touchback. That was a quick kick, a short punt, really, as the quarterback Jadarski pitched the ball back to Brandel, a wing who came in motion. He kicked it down the near sideline, aiming for the corner, but didn't make it. The ball ended up in the end zone, and so it comes out to the 20-yard line where Stratford takes over. We have 3.5 remaining in the first period, and Stratford leading Loyal early by a score of 6-0 here at Loyal High School. Stratford Tigers come out. The quarterback is senior Jody Schwabe. Zilke and Kaiser in the backfield behind him. Schwabe will throw on first down to the far side. The catch is made by Dahl, but he's dropped out of bounds.
Complete to Dennis Dahl.
Right near the line of scrimmage by Chad Brandel and Mike Olson.
About a 1-yard gain.
Ball was on the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 for Stratford. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at their own 21-yard line. Todd Kolbeck is now in the ball game. He's a wing to the near side. Quarterback is Jody Schwabe. He will hand the ball to Dahl coming near side. Gets a good block from Kolbeck. Cuts outside to the 25-yard line across the 30. He has first down yardage just across the 30-yard line.
Tackled by Mike Olson.
So on the sweep to the near side, Dennis Dahl picks up the yardage for the first down, and the Tigers continue their drive. That's a 12-yard gain for Dahl. 1st and 10, Stratford at their own 33-yard line.
And Dahl has made the big play so far, Gene. 42 yards and 2 carries.
3:10 remaining in the first period, and Stratford leading 6-0. Jody Schwabe, the quarterback, hands to Robin Kaiser. He has a big hole off tackle. It closes up quickly as he carries across the 35-yard line.
By Tom Abrahamson.
And the stop made by Loyal's defensive end, Grant Koski, at the 36. 3 yards for Kaiser. It's now 2nd and a long 7.
36-yard line, 2nd down.
John Schmidt and Mike Bright, the tight ends, double tight ends for Stratford. Dennis Dahl, the wing to the far side, split backfield behind Schwabe. He will roll near side, hand the ball to Zilke straight ahead, and he carries across the 40-yard line.
Ball run by
Zilke picks up 5 or 6 yards on that play.
Tackle by Corey Kressel.
And now Stratford looking at about a 3rd and 3. Third and 3 for the Stratford Tigers at their own 41-yard line. Stratford scored earlier in this quarter on a 13-yard run by Schwabe. Trying to keep this drive alive. Wing right formation, the handoff to Dahl, comes near side. Good block by Schmidt, and he dives across the 45-yard line for a first down. Tight end John Schmidt really kicked out a charging defensive lineman that opened up a big hole for Dennis Dahl. He carries out to the 47, a pickup of 6, and a first down for the Tigers.
5 first downs now for Stratford, all on the ground.
1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Stratford leading Loyal 6-0. Schmidt and Bright, the tight ends. Zilke and Kaiser in the backfield behind Schwabe. Dahl is the wing to the far side. 5-man front for Loyal. The handoff to Kaiser. He is not going to get outside. He's stopped in the backfield by Grant Koski. A fine play by defensive end Grant Koski, who drops Kaiser back at the 44.
Tackle by Grant Koski.
Now Koski's been in that that offensive backfield a couple of times, and his penetration pays off in a big way on that play as he throws Kaiser for a 3-yard loss. So now it's 2nd and 13 for Stratford at their own 44. The clock is moving, 55 seconds remaining in the first period. Wing right formation once again. 5 down linemen for the Loyal Ball Club, and we have a whistle, our first penalty of the evening. And it looks like this call may go against Stratford.
Now it's called by the field judge, so it's probably an illegal procedure.
I believe you're right, Ron. That'll move the ball back to the 39-yard line. And now Loyal will rush in Bert Rising. They'll get an extra defensive back in the ball game. And so the Greyhounds will remove one of their big defensive linemen. Bob Schultz will leave, the junior defensive lineman. So an extra defensive back in there now for the Greyhounds. It's 2nd and about 16 for Stratford, just shy of their own 40-yard line. Schwabe drops back to throw. Plenty of time, throws deep to the near side for Schmidt, but he's overthrown. The pass is incomplete. Bert Rising on the coverage was right there with John Schmidt, and Schwabe overthrew him by about 5 yards.
Well, I think Schmidt broke the pattern off. He thought it wasn't going to go quite as deep as the quarterback thought it would, so there was no connection.
So now the Tigers in a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 17, just shy of their own 40-yard line. Greyhounds have 4 deep men, Brandel, Rising, Olson, and Schiller. Schiller already has 1 interception today. And again, Schwabe will throw, drops back straight, throws deep down the middle, and nobody there. He overthrows everybody by about 10 yards. That was John Schmidt doing a flag or a post pattern, and Olson and Schiller, the closest ball players to the play, the Loyal defensive backs, actually the closest guys to the ball.
And Mike Bright went down and hooked up about 20 yards downfield, and the ball was well over his head.
So now a 4th and long for the Tigers, and we will see a punt for Stratford for the first time tonight. Dan Drexler will boot the ball away from around his own 30-yard line. Brandel in single safety for Loyal, and there's a fine kick. Brandel back at the 26, drops the ball, picks it up at the 30, and he's shoestringed a fine open field tackle by a Stratford ball player who got down there and made that play. Looks like it was Allie Schmidt who got down there and just got an arm out and knocked Brandel down at the 31-yard line. So Loyal will take over. They'll spot it on the Greyhound at 32, 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Stratford on top of Loyal 6-0. Greyhounds have time for at least 1 play to close out this period. Quarterback is Jadarski. He gives to Rick Reith, gets outside and stopped near the line of scrimmage, dropped the ball, but the whistle had blown. A nice stop in the open field by Stratford's Ollie Schmidt. And that could be the final play of the period. There was no gain for Reith. The ball stays on the 33. The clock right now is stopped with 4 seconds remaining in the period. Now it'll start running again, and that will close out the period. So we've gone 1 quarter here at Loyal High School, and our score is Stratford 6 and Loyal nothing. We'll come back for second quarter action in just a moment.
In sports, there are looking for your new home. Stratford Homes.
Tackle by Dan Drexler.
Now Doug Rail opens the second quarter by bringing the ball out to the 46-yard line, a 14-yard gain. And the Greyhounds have the football at their own 46 as we start the second quarter. They trail Stratford by a score of 6-0. Rail and Reith split backs behind Chad Jadarski. On 1st and 10, Jadarski will hand the ball to Rail. He goes inside the line and gets virtually nothing. He is stood up there by Ollie Schmidt and Chris Spindler.
First quarter statistics, total offense, Stratford 96 yards and Loyal 41.
So it's 2nd and a long 9 now for the Greyhounds. At about their 47, Loyal hanging with this Stratford ball club very nicely. Tigers lead 6-0. They scored on their opening drive. They've been quiet ever since. Stratton the wing to the near side. Chad Jadarski's done a nice job as a sophomore quarterback, and he will turn hand on a delayed handoff to Reith, and he's going nowhere. He was jumped on from behind by Chris Spindler after he got maybe a yard to the 48-yard line. And it looks like that Stratford defensive line is starting to close in now.
Yeah, those plays are slow developing on occasion, and Stratford is starting to fill in those holes rather quickly.
A lot of deep handoffs, it looks like.
Yeah.
We're early in the second quarter. Stratford on top by a touchdown. 3rd and long for Loyal at their own 48. We'll see if Jadarski wants to put the ball up here. Split backfield. Looks like a blitz coming by Stratford. Now they back off. Jadarski throws deep over the middle. Olsen out there. Ball's tipped away and knocked down incomplete. Mike Olsen and Phil Stratton were both there. And those two guys drew about 4 defensive backs for Stratford, and so Chad Jadarski was throwing into a crowd of white jerseys. We have an injured ball player for Stratford. Gary Zilke is down, and we'll see how his condition is. Stratford coaches come out to attend to Gary Zilke. You're listening to high school football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield. Stratford and Loyal this evening with Ron Aslakson. I'm Gene DeLisio. We have 10:19 remaining in the second quarter, and Stratford leads Loyal 6-0. The Tigers took the opening kickoff and went 79 yards in 6 plays and scored on a 13-yard run by Jody Schwabe. Gary Zilke is still down, and he is a tough guy for the Tigers to lose. He doubles as their fullback and as their nose tackle. He is now up and will be helped off the field. Loyal now in a 4th down situation. It's 4th and about 7 at their own 48-yard line. And we may see our first Loyal punt of the night. Dennis Dahl expects a punt. He's back in deep safety for the Tigers around his 30-yard line. And Ken Lovestadt will kick it away. He gets it away. A very fine kick sends Dahl back to the 15-yard line. He picks it up at the 13, comes to the near side, the 20, sidesteps a couple of ball players and crosses the 25-yard line. Stratford has the football for the first time in the second quarter. They'll start this possession just across the 25-yard line.
Tackle by Vaughn Roy.
10 minutes remaining in the second quarter, and Stratford leads Loyal 6-0. 1st and 10 for Stratford at their own 25. We should see a new ball player in there for Stratford in the backfield. Jeff Colbeck is in the backfield now with Dennis Dahl. Behind Jody Schwabe on 1st down, Dahl gets the handoff to the outside, crosses the 30-yard line, and he's tripped up as he crosses the 30. Dean Schiller and Mark Stumpner on the tackle for Loyal. So Dennis Dahl gains about 7. They'll spot it on the 33-yard line, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, we'll see if the Tigers are affected by the loss of Gary Zilke and if Zilke can return later. Jeff Colbeck in the backfield with Dahl, and Schwabe carries himself. Pitches back to Dahl, but he drops the ball, and it looks like the Greyhounds may have it back. There's a big pileup inside the 30-yard line. No signal as of yet. And it is Stratford football. A Tiger, I believe Schwabe did fall on it. So Stratford maintains possession. Jody Schwabe falls on his own fumble. He was being hit as he pitched that ball back to Dennis Dahl, and so the ball came loose and Schwabe fell on it. That play loses about 5 yards back to the 28, so it'll now be 3rd and about 8. And Stratford has used their first timeout. We have 9:03 remaining in the first half. Our score is Stratford 6 and Loyal nothing. And we'll come back to Loyal High School in just a moment.
You'll like the nightly specials at the Buccaneer Supper Club. On Tuesdays, it's their pork chop delight with sauerkraut. Wednesdays, steak special is all you wish to eat. Thursday special is family-style barbecue ribs and barbecued chicken. Friday, it's fish fry, and Saturday's feature is prime rib. Sunday smorgasbord is served 11 to 3 with open menu till 10 p.m. And a Sunday night special of shrimp and steak. Reservations appreciated. Call the Buccaneer Supper Club, Roselleville at 384-2629.
You can hear all about these Merriwood and Clover Belt Conference teams during our On Sports program each Saturday morning at 11:05 right here on WDLB. And we hope we'll be talking to Tom Knopf and Bill Judarski quite a bit during the coming season. Some other games being played locally tonight. The Spencer Rockets are in action this evening, taking on Owen Whitney. That ball game up in Owen tonight. And the Abbotsford Falcons also seeing action tonight. They are playing at home against Prentice this evening.
It's interesting that Coach Knopf would, call for a timeout at this juncture of the ball game. His team is ahead 6-0, but perhaps he sees something going out with his offense, Gene, that he's not too pleased with and wants to get his players straightened out on a number of assignments.
Well, we'll see if he puts the ball in the air here. He's got a 3rd and 8 at his own 28-yard line. The quarterback, Jody Schwabe. Dennis Dahl, the wing to the near side. Kaiser and Colbeck, Jeff Colbeck, the split backs, and Schwabe will throw. He fires to the near side for Dahl, who makes the catch at the 25, gets up to the 30, the 35, and crosses there and is stopped by Doug Rail. He'll be very close to a first down.
Tackle by Dean Schiller.
Depends upon where they spot it, and the referees do say it is a first down at the 37-yard line. The pass play gains 9 yards and a first down for Stratford and a little flare pass. So the Tigers maintain possession with 8:45 remaining in the first half, and they lead Loyal 6-0. Wing right formation. Colbeck and Kaiser in the backfield. Schwabe will keep the ball himself. Now cut up to the 40-yard line. Breaks a couple of tackles. Gets out to about the 42, where Vaughn Lose makes the hit. The Loyal nose tackle. Also on that stop for Loyal, Bob Schultz, who's seeing lots of action tonight. Ball's up to the 42. That was a 5-yard gain. And it's now 2nd and 5. Now Todd Colbeck, both Colbecks in the ball game. Todd as a wing, Jeff as a running back. The handoff to Kaiser, and he is hit. A penalty flag is down, and he gains about 1 yard. Stopped again by Vaughn Lose. The sophomore has had a very nice ball game for Loyal.
This was thrown by the field judge after the play started, so I suspect a major against Stratford.
And it looks like it's going to go back.
Clipping.
We'll say a Stratford penalty. Looks like the Tigers tried to pull a guard on that play, Ron. They brought a guard out of the line, had him lead Kaiser on that run, but some people got caught up in some traffic, and Kaiser never really got started.
What may have amounted to a crackback block occurred, I suppose. Not intentional, but one of the Loyal players was clipped from, hit from behind, which he is clipping. It's a major penalty against Stratford.
And the ball is going back to the 27-yard line. The Tigers have to get to the 47 for a first down, so this is 2nd and 20. Now we'll see what Jody Schwabe wants to do. He rolls out, now hands the ball inside to Jeff Colbeck, and he carries across the 35 back to near the original line of scrimmage. Now spot it right around the 37, so the play gains 10. And now a 3rd and 10 situation for Stratford. Both teams using wing formations tonight. Stratford comes out in the wing once again. Schwabe will throw the football, gets good protection, fires over the middle for Schmidt. The ball's intercepted and then dropped. John Schmidt juggled the ball. It was picked off in midair by Bert Rising, and then Schmidt hit him, and Rising dropped the ball.
Almost caught twice, but incomplete, so 4th down, and Stratford will have to kick it away.
And the Tigers back in punt formation once again. That means Mike Olson will be in single safety for Loyal inside his own 35-yard line. Once again kicking for Stratford, Dan Drexler. And we presume he'll punt from around his 25. Good snap, and Drexler kicks it away. A very fine kick, sends Olson back to around the 25. It will roll inside the 25. He picks it up at the 22, goes down the sideline across the 30, and pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Tackle by Allie Schmidt.
Loyal football around their own 30-yard line. We have 7:06 remaining in the first half, and Stratford leads Loyal 6-0.
That was a 41-yard punt, Gene, including the roll.
Glad to have you with us tonight here on WDLB for high school football between Stratford and Loyal. The ball spotted on the 31-yard line of the Greyhounds. That's where Loyal will start this possession. Quarterback is the sophomore, Brad Jadarski, split backfield behind him. And on first down, he wants to put the ball in the air. The ball's tipped as it goes through the line. It's incomplete. A dive for it by Ollie Schmidt, who couldn't reach it, but that ball was tipped as it went over the line. Schmidt made a dive, very similar to the interception made by Loyal's Dean Schiller a bit earlier, but he just couldn't get a hand on it. 2nd and 10 for the Greyhounds at their own 31-yard line. Dan Schmidt, I believe, has now moved into the nose tackle spot, replacing Gary Zilke, who is still on the sidelines. Either that or Stratford is just using a four-man defensive front. That might be it also. Jadarski will hand off straight ahead to Doug Rail, and he fights his way across the 35-yard line, gets out to about the 38. Nice gain by Doug Rail, and that'll put Loyal in a 3rd and short yardage situation. They'll spot it on the 38. It's 3rd and 3 for the Greyhounds.
38-yard line, 3rd down.
Paul Worrell leaves the Stratford defensive line. He'll be replaced by Darryl Schrader at a defensive tackle spot. 3rd and 3 Loyal, their own 38. Brad Jadarski on a deep handoff to Rick Reith. He stopped in the backfield. He lost a yard. A couple of Stratford ball players were there. Jody Schwabe is one. Dan Drexler was also there. And they're going to be generous to the Greyhounds and move the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's 4th and 3 for the Greyhounds, and Coach Jadarski does not want to chance this. He'll have Mike Olson punt the ball away. Schwabe and Dahl back in double safety around the 30-yard line for Stratford. Good snap, and Olson will kick it high to the near sideline. Schwabe at the 30. Comes near side, 35, has a wall to the 40, 45, and is wrestled out of bounds just across the 45-yard line. Vaughn Lose on the tackle, along with Grant Koski. Boy, that Vaughn Lose has been very impressive as a sophomore.
Yes, he has. Now, Stratford gets pretty good field position, probably the best position they've had since their opening drive in an attempt to get some more points on the board, but Loyal's been tough on the clutch plays.
It's 1st and 10 Stratford. The ball is on the 47-yard line of the Tigers. They have 5:40 remaining. In the first half, the Tigers lead early 6-0. Wing right formation. Jody Schwabe wants to throw. He looks over the middle and throws the ball short of John Schmidt just across midfield, incomplete.
The ball was trapped, and the quarterback Schwabe was hit just as he threw the ball.
Schwabe had done a simple curl in front of the linebackers, was open, but as you say, Ron, Schwabe hit as he threw the football. Here comes Todd Colbeck back in, replacing Dennis Dahl. No, replacing Robin Kaiser in the backfield. Dahl was on his way out, called back by Colbeck. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 47. Loyal defense has looked very impressive thus far. Remember, this is a very young Greyhound team. Wing formation. Schwabe will throw the ball again. He's going to fire deep over the middle. Mike Wright wide open, makes the catch to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and he scores the Stratford touchdown. 53-yard touchdown pass. Jody Schwabe to Mike Wright, and Stratford leads 12-0.
Touchdown, Stratford.
Mike Bright, the tight end on the near side, just did a deep slant, a post pattern right down the center of the field, and a perfect pass from Jody Schwabe, and that caps a 2-play, 53-yard touchdown drive. The Tigers are on the scoreboard once again.
Just as I said, Loyal was making the big plays on defense. The bomb is thrown, and Mank got wide open right over the middle and went unmolested into the end zone.
They found Bright isolated one-on-one with one of those young defensive backs, and the Tigers took advantage. And now here is Darryl Schrader attempting the extra point. Dennis Dahl will hold, and there's some movement in the interior line.
Not some, a lot.
We have an offside call against Loyal. That'll move the ball even closer to the goal line.
Now they might go for 2 now.
Yeah, that might be their thinking. That touchdown at 5:25 of the second period. Again, Schwabe, who ran for the first score, to Bright, 53 yards on the pass for the second score. Jody Schwabe laid that in there perfectly. Well, now let's see what the Tigers do. Darrow Schrader is called off the field, and so we presume the Tigers will go for two. Wright and Schmidt, the tight ends. It's Jeff Kolbeck and Kaiser in the backfield behind Schwabe. Dahl goes through in motion, the handoff to Kolbeck, and he just walks in a big, big hole for Jeff Kolbeck. He scores easily, and so the Stratford Tigers make the two-point conversion. We have 5:25 remaining in the first half, and our score is now Stratford 14 and Loyal nothing. We'll come back to Loyal for more Stratford and Loyal football in just a moment.
83-19. Smith Feed Service in Loyal.
14-0 lead now for the Stratford Tigers as Darrow Schrader kicks off once again. Krasselt, Spindler, and rising back deep for Loyal. It's Krasselt at the 8-yard line. He tries the far side. He sees the 20, and he stopped right there. A very, very enthusiastic group of Stratford Tigers led by Brian Breedeman. Also on that tackle, Jason Weigel. And so Loyal will start this possession from their own 20-yard line, and that Stratford Ball Club looks pretty fired up right now, Ron.
Yes, they got a big, anytime you score from midfield on one play, it fires your team up.
Well, let's see how this young Loyal team responds. 1st and 10 Greyhounds at their own 20-yard line, and there's some confusion defensively. Jadarski throws a middle screen to Rick Reed. He looks for running room, now cuts outside of the 25, the 30-yard line, crosses the 35, and finally is filled near the 40-yard line. Defensive end Chris Spindler has to come out to make the tackle about 20 yards downfield. The Tigers played that play short one man. They rushed Scott Juniman on the field, and he eventually assisted on the tackle, but he was late getting on the play, so actually Stratford was going 11 on 10 that time. Now that middle screen gains 20 yards. That's the second time it's worked well for the Greyhounds tonight. 1st and 10 Loyal at their own 40-yard line. The quarterback, Brad Jadarski, he wants to throw again, but this time he's going down in the backfield as Mike Wright rushes in from the defensive end spot and hits Jadarski inside the 35-yard line.
Well, they've been getting close to him on several occasions, so it was only a matter of time, I think, before they were going to get him.
That's going to be a loss of 8 yards. The ball placed back at the 32-yard line, and that's our first sack of the evening. It's now 2nd and 18 for the Greyhounds at their own 32. Olson comes the near side. Abramson, the tight end, on the far side. Split backfield behind Brad Jadarski. He rolls far side. He's going to be hit again, and again Mike Wright got him, this time back around the 25. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier, Ron, when you said a lot of these Loyal plays are slow in developing, and we saw that example once again there.
Right, and I think, Bright's made 2 big plays in a row. We got an official timeout here briefly.
The ball now is back at the 25-yard line, and so Loyal is looking at 3rd and 25. And the Greyhounds will quickly get Phil Stratton in the ball game. He has a new play from Coach Jadarski. Chad Brandel, by the way, is not in the ball game. We see he's on the Loyal bench with his leg up, and he may be getting some ice, so Chad Brandel may be unable to go the rest of the night. We'll have to check on his status. 3rd and very long, and Jadarski now in the shotgun formation. He's going to quick kick it and kick the ball high in the air across the 50. Dole back there to receive it, drops the ball at the 45, picks it back up, crosses the 50, gets away from a couple of tacklers, and moves the ball inside the Loyal 45.
I heard one of the Stratford coaches holler, "Stay away from it," but his player didn't heed the advice.
The coach yelled, "Stay away," and of course Dahl interpreted that to mean get up there and grab the ball as soon as they possibly can.
Exactly.
Must be a secret code they have. Well, Dahl did juggle the ball a bit, but he did make a fine run after getting back and grabbing the ball at his own 45. He carries it back to the Stratford 40, to the Loyal 44-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Tigers right there with 3:05 remaining first half, and Stratford leading 14-0. Wing left formation for Stratford. Jody Schwabe hands straight ahead to Kolbeck, who was cut down from behind at the 40-yard line. The loyal tackler is Rick Reith. Todd Kolbeck, I believe, making his first rush of the day, and he gains 4 yards to the 40. It's 2nd and 6 for Stratford at the loyal 40. After that big touchdown pass on the last series, the Tiger Ball Club looks real fired up. By the way, Gary Zilke, we had not seen him play since he limped off earlier, but he is standing under his own power on the sideline. On 2nd down, Schwabe hands to Jeff Kolbeck. He goes off tackle for about 3. And again, Rick Reith makes the stop. This time he gets help from Mark Stumpner.
Tackle by Rick Reith.
Ball is down at the 36-yard line. Another 4-yard pickup. And now the Tigers looking at 3rd and about 2. And they would certainly like to add 1 score before halftime. That clock moving, 2:05 remaining, 2nd quarter. Kolbeck and Kaiser, the split backs behind Schwabe. Here's Kaiser straight ahead, a big hole. He carries down to the 30-yard line for a first down.
Run by Robin Kaiser.
And it's Bert Rising on the tackle for Loyal. Scott Juneman will come in the ball game now for Stratford in the offensive line, and he will replace Darrell Schrader at an offensive tackle spot. So the ball's on the 30. It's 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the loyal 30. 1:49 remaining before halftime. Tigers up 14-0. Schwabe hands the ball to Jeff Kolbeck. He dances inside across the 25-yard line, gets 7 or 8. And right now, Stratford is really moving these smaller, loyal ball players off the interior line, Ron.
And they're also working the clock, too, is down to 1:30, so they're going to have to speed it up a little bit if they want to get in one more time.
Stratford, you recall, took a timeout earlier in this half. They have 2 remaining. It's 2nd and 4 Tigers at the loyal 24-yard line. The quarterback, Schwabe, will throw the football this time. He sets up and throws deep over the middle, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Greg Shanefoos, in the goal line. He had Shanefoos open, but Brad Jadarski was right there as well, defending him very, very closely. And neither one could get there as Schwabe overthrew them both.
I think part of the problem was he was open sooner than that, but he wasn't able to spot him and to get the pass off in time.
That was a difficult pass for Schwabe to complete. He had to roll to his left, then stop, plant, and throw the football.
Yeah. Nothing easy about it.
Took a while to develop. It's 3rd and 4 for Stratford at the loyal 24, and again Schwabe to put the ball in the air. He fires deep near corner for Shanefoos. There's a collision at the 10-yard line. A flag goes down, and we will see some interference somewhere. Shanefoos drew double coverage from both Brad Jadarski and Dean Schiller. And we'll see if one of those guys is called on the play or if it's offensive interference. We'll get the official's word.
Well, I believe it's going to be against Loyal.
Well, a tough break for the Greyhound Ball Club. Boy, it just seems that when you get these young teams out there, those breaks go against them.
Right. This will be a major penalty, probably half the distance to the goal, I would say.
And that would move the ball down to about the 12-yard line. We have 64 seconds remaining in the first half, and Stratford leading this contest by a score of 14-0. Again, to give you word on the injured ball players, Chad Brandel has one pants leg off, and I'm not sure if he was icing down a leg or not, a knee. And so we may not see Chad the rest of the night. He's limping around. Gary Zilke is standing on the sidelines for Stratford.
9-yard line.
Well, they put the ball on the 9-yard line. They did give him 15 yards there, Ron. It was a 15-yard penalty, not half the distance of the goal, for whatever reason. And now the official's coming in to say, gee, wait a minute, guys.
I think they gave him too much, to be honest with you.
Well, if it's half the distance of the goal, the ball will be on the 12.
Right.
The ball now is on the 9, and they may be discussing that right now. The officials are meeting, and they're going to move the ball back, I believe, a couple of yards. It should go to the 12, and that's where they're going to put it.
It's normally a 15-yard penalty, but not from that spot on the field.
No, that's half the distance of the goal, and the ball is properly placed on the 12-yard line. Do you have a secret code you gave the officials that information to?
No, the head linesman realized that there was an error, so he corrected it.
First and 10 for Stratford at the Loyal 12-yard line. Schwabe will roll out far side on the option, and he is stopped. He was hit hard by Mark Stumpner and dropped for virtually no gain. Stumpner read that option play and dropped Schwabe for no gain. The ball still on the 12. In fact, the Tigers may have lost a yard on that play. The clock moving, 44 seconds remaining in the first half. Stratford has 2 timeouts remaining. Again, a split backfield, wing right. Schwabe will fake the handoff. He is going to look to throw. Now rolls far side, hit by Stumpner again, gets away, and falls forward inside the 10-yard line, where Rick Reith and Tom Abramson make the stop, and the Stratford coaches yell for a timeout with 25 seconds remaining in the half. That was a pass play called by the Tigers. It broke down, a heavy rush by the Loyal Ball Club. They forced Schwabe out of the pocket, and Abramson and Mark Stumpner, who's also playing well for the Greyhounds, finally made the stop just inside the 10. Stratford has now used their second timeout with 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Our score is Stratford 14, Loyal nothing, and we'll come back to Loyal following this message.
Alan L. Billings, attorney, a proud member of the Loyal community and a backer of the local. Call Alan L. Billings at 255-8855.
It is 3rd and 8 for Stratford at the Loyal 10-yard line. Schmidt wide out to the far side. Kaiser, the slot inside him. Dahl and Jeff Kolbach, the splitbacks, behind quarterback Jody Schwabe. Tigers trying to add a score before halftime. Schwabe, quick pass over the middle to Bright, knocked away, and let's see who came down with it. The ball was tipped away, and it looks like the officials are calling another timeout for Stratford, and the ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line. Bright came down with the ball.
Oh, boy, it was a lot of people around. The ball was deflected, and he did catch it.
A quick pass to the tight end, Mike Bright, across the middle. He drew a crowd of about 3 or 4 Loyal defenders. The ball was tipped around. Bright fell backwards, apparently with the football, and the ball is spotted at the 2-yard line. Now, here's a tough decision for Stratford coach Tom Knopf with 20 seconds remaining before halftime, because that is not a first down. So the Tigers are faced with a 4th and inches at the Loyal 2 with 20 seconds remaining in the half, and the Tigers are now out of timeouts.
Well, I'll tell you what, I suggest, not because it would be what I would do necessarily, but I would run the ball. I think that Stratford will run the ball because they haven't had a lot of success passing, and you've only got 2 yards plus the end zone, not a lot of room, and I think they're going to run it.
We'll see if they run behind Dan Schmidt, their 250-pound tackle. We'll see where Dan Schmidt lines up and see if they give the ball to somebody right behind that guy, because Dan Schmidt, of course, a very talented ball player. He can move some guys out. Schmidt lines up on the right side, the right tackle, and big Mike Bright, the tight end, right next to him. Schwabe, the quarterback, handoff to Kolbach off the right side, touchdown, right behind Schmidt and Bright. The Tigers score again. They now lead 20-0. 2-yard touchdown run for Jeff Kolbach. That is a 9-play, 44-yard touchdown drive, and the Tigers have now scored on their last 2 possessions.
Well, I think they probably have enough confidence in their ground game to figure they can get 2 yards almost any time they want to, and that was straight ahead power.
Yeah, especially behind those 2 guys. You're looking at Bright, 208 pounds, and Schmidt, 250, against some young Loyal ball players who are really undersized. Stratford now going for 2, and Kolbach on the handoff off tackle, and he spins and he scores again. So Jeff Kolbach tonight has a touchdown run and 2 two-point conversions, and we have 15 seconds remaining before halftime. Stratford leads Loyal 22-0. Back to Loyal High School after this word.
Custom kitchens don't have to include an impossible price. When you're ready to rethink your kitchen design, go Field.
Well, the Stratford Tigers starting to roll now. They've scored on their last 2 possessions, and they lead 22-0 with just 15 seconds remaining before halftime. Darrell Schrader will be kicking off for the Tigers. Corey Krasselt, Dean Schiller, and Bert Rising in triple safety for the Loyal Greyhounds. At halftime, we'll update some scores, give you all the stats, and much, much more, so please stay with us. Schrader is all set. And here is the kickoff. He's going to line drive it down the field. Taken by Doug Rail at the 30-yard line. He comes across the 40 and is stopped at the 45-yard line. John Schmidt makes the tackle with 9 seconds remaining in the first half.
Now, if Loyal wants to play, they're going to have to call timeout because the clock will start when it's ready for play, and they have taken timeout.
And the Greyhounds will use that first timeout. By the way, we do have a score from Owen, where the Spencer Rockets are trying to break that 2-year losing streak in the third quarter, late third period. Spencer nothing, Owen Withy nothing. Both of those teams have had problems in recent years, but the Rockets seem to be optimistic about their chances for 1986 with a veteran crew coming back, and we'll see if they break that losing streak tonight. Owen Withy is certainly giving the Rockets a battle in Owen tonight.
Well, it's pretty obvious what Loyal's going to have to do. They've got to go 55 yards in 9 seconds, and I doubt if they can do it on the ground, so they'll be throwing the ball.
Well, by the way, we talked with Coach Bill Jadarski earlier this week, and he said that one of the key situations on his ball club this year was the loss of Jeff Lamsa. He had a serious injury. Jeff had this serious elbow injury. He was trying to block 6 guys at once, apparently, in a scrimmage last weekend, and took them all out, but suffered an elbow injury in the process. And so, unfortunately, Jeff Lamsa is done for the season, and that is a serious blow for this Loyal ball club. 9 seconds remaining before halftime. Jadarski back to throw over the middle, batted down and intercepted. The ball batted down by Dan Schmidt and then intercepted by Stratford's Dan Drexler. He carries it back to the 30-yard line with 3 seconds remaining. And the Tigers will try to quickly run an offensive play. They run their offense quickly back onto the field. With only 3 seconds remaining in the half, they'll try to get one play off. Schmidt tipped the ball right into Drexler's hand, and Jody Schwabe out there saying, what play do I run?
There's a flag laying down there. I don't know what's going on.
And the referees are talking to Drexler. Some yardage will be marked off against Loyal.
And that will stop the clock, I do believe, so Stratford will get a chance for one more play.
And the ball's going all the way to the 15-yard line.
Penalty against Loyal.
So on the interception, it's unsportsmanlike conduct against Loyal, and now Loyal will call a timeout. And so Stratford gets a free play. That was a great interception, by the way, by Dan Drexler. The ball was tipped by Dan Schmidt, but not high in the air. Schmidt just got a hand on it, and he kind of tipped it right into Drexler's stomach. Dan made the interception, carried about 10 yards down to the 30, and then an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Loyal puts the ball at the 15-yard line. Loyal has since used their second timeout, so now Stratford gets a free shot at the goal line.
Well, Loyal wants to make darn sure that Stratford doesn't get 6. I don't know if the field goal kicker for Stratford has a leg to get it this far. They've got room, just time for one play.
And I presume we'll see, well, they're going to try to field goal. Schrader will try to kick it from the 20-yard line. Dahl the hold. This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt. Ball is fumbled, picked up by Schrader, and he's going to be tackled, and that will end the first half. Well, the Tigers did want that field goal attempt, but Dennis Dahl could not hold on to the snap, and so we close out the first half with the Stratford Tigers gaining some momentum and looking very good in the final stages of the second quarter. Our halftime score here at Loyal High School is Stratford 22 and Loyal nothing, and we'll come back with our halftime program in just a moment.
If you're wondering where the friendliness and
Well, we're just about set to start the second half of action here at Loyal High School. Stratford leading at 22-0, and the Tigers will be kicking off. The Greyhounds will receive the ball at the goal line to our right and move from right to left offensively. Back deep for Loyal, Corey Kresselt in the middle. Bert Rising on the far side, and Dean Schiller on the near side. We were told earlier that Chad Brandel suffered a knee injury of some sort. We do not see Chad on the sidelines right now. He may have been taken in. Gary Zilke was also helped off the field during the first half. He has not played since, but he is up, walking around, seems to be okay. He did try to run in and play late in the second half, late in the first half, and was called back. The kickoff to begin the second half rolls down the near sideline, out of bounds at the 10. Darryl Schrader putting the ball down the near sideline, over the sideline at the 10-yard line. So the ball will come back, and the Tigers will kick it again. Or they're going to put it at the 40-yard line. They get their choice, I believe.
Yes.
And the Tigers are going to kick it again, I think. They're going to come back out and bring their kicking team back out again and kick it from the 35.
That used to be an automatic play. They brought the ball out to the 40-yard line, but obviously that no longer is the rule.
I think you get the choice up to about the third time. I think there's a point where they say, let's not do this anymore. I think you get two, and then on the third one, the ball has to go to the 40.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
So Schrader will tee it up this time at the 35-yard line. A lot of Stratford starters on this kickoff unit. Jody Schwabe, the quarterback over here, playing the near sideline. He's going to run down, try to tackle somebody. John Schmidt is out there. Paul Worrell, part of this kickoff defending unit. So Coach Knopf using a lot of his prime talent on his special teams. Again, the kick by Darryl Schrader. Ground ball down the far sideline. Rising grabs it at the 25, comes to the 30, straight ahead, 35, and snowed under before he sees the 40-yard line. And there's Jody Schwabe down there to make the tackle for Stratford with help by Scott Denny.
Now it'll be interesting to see what Loyal wants to do. They're behind by 3 scores, but they don't want to, put the ball up on every single play trying to catch up. They'll probably try to, work their entire offense for future games.
Well, the Loyal quarterback is sophomore Brad Jadarski. In the backfield behind him, juniors Rick Reith and Doug Rail. First and 10 at the 33-yard line. And on first down, Jadarski will hand the ball straight ahead to Rail, who gets 2, maybe 3, just across the 40-yard line. Pick up about 3. Ball is on the 40. It's now 2nd and 7.
Sorry about that.
Mike Olson.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
Tom Abramson are the ends. They both stay tight. Phil Stratton is the wingback. He lines up on the far side for Loyal. 2nd and 7 from the 40-yard line. Jadarski will hand to Reel again, straight ahead. He fights his way out near the 45-yard line. And that time, Ollie Schmidt,
Ball run by
Stratford linebacker, makes the tackle along with his other linebacker partner, Jody Schwabe. So the ball now at the 45-yard line.
Third down, ball on the 45-yard line.
And it's now 3rd at about 3 for Loyal. 3rd and 3 Greyhounds at their own 45. And again, Rail straight ahead, stood up near the first down marker. We'll have to see exactly where he got. Again, Ollie Schmidt and Paul Worrell make the stop. And I don't think Rail got there.
No, he's just short by a yard.
So it'll be 4th and 1 at the 46-yard line.
Tackle by Gary Zilke.
Gary Zilke, we see, is now back in the ball game at nose tackle. That's certainly good news for Stratford fans.
Well, I think Loyal's going to punt, because Jadarski is out.
Okay, and that means that Ken Lovestad is on, and he will kick the ball away. Dennis Dahl and Jody Schwabe go back to receive the punt. Good snap back to Lovestad, and he kicks it high and deep, and Dahl back to the 15-yard line, lets it roll by him to the 10, to near the 5. He's taken right there and snowed under inside the 5. Mike Olson down there to make the tackle. Mike Olson got there in a hurry and dropped Dahl after he mishandled the punt. Stratford has the ball, but deep in their own territory, they'll put it on the 6-yard line. Stratford football on their own 6. That Ken Lovestad done a great job punting for Loyal tonight. 1st and 10 Tigers on their own 6. We're early in the 3rd period, and Stratford leads Loyal 22-0. We have a timeout charged to the Tigers. A Stratford timeout, their first of the second half. 9:37 remaining in the 3rd period. It's Stratford at 22, Loyal nothing, and we'll return to Loyal in just a moment.
Wisconsin sports leader, 1450, WDLB Marshfield.
Rick Dean is producing our broadcast tonight with Ron Aslakson. I'm Gene DeLisio. We are early in the 3rd period, and Stratford leading Loyal 22-0 here in the season opener at Loyal High School, although the Greyhounds have placed the Tigers deep in Stratford territory. It's 1st and 10 Stratford, just outside the Tigers' 5-yard line. And the Tigers have their first offensive possession of the second half, and Todd Kolbeck is now quarterbacking. And on first down, he hands the ball off, and we'll see if that's Gary Zilke back in the ballgame at a running back spot. That Stratford runner drew about 5 defenders, and no, it's Jeff Kolbeck. Jeff Kolbeck carrying for about 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Todd Kolbeck is now at quarterback for Stratford. Jody Schwabe quarterback the first half. Kolbeck in there to start the second. 2nd and 9 from the 7. And Kolbeck in the end zone will throw. He fires near side and has a wide open Mike right at the 30-yard line. He's going down the near sideline to the 50, the Loyal 40, 30, 20. He'll go all the way for the score. A 93-yard touchdown pass from Todd Kolbeck to Mike Bright, and now a 28-0 lead for Stratford. Another explosive pass play for the Stratford Tigers as Mike Bright, doing a deep drag pattern over the middle, got a perfect pass from the end zone from Todd Kolbeck and then motored down the near sideline 93 yards for the score.
I was about to say, Gene, how difficult it would be for a quarterback to come in for the first time tonight and start inside your own 10-yard line, but obviously it can't be that difficult.
No, not for Todd Kolbeck. A 28-0 lead now for Stratford, and Darrow Schrader will attempt the extra point. We have a penalty flag down as Dennis Dahl receives the snap. That is a 2-play, 94-yard touchdown drive for Stratford.
5-yard penalty against Stratford.
And the Tigers really celebrating on the sidelines. They have had a good time tonight. And this is a very unusual stadium, Ron, in that both teams are on the same sideline, much like the old Met Stadium where the Vikings we used to play. Both teams along the same sideline. They have the same deal here at Loyal. Both teams on the near sideline. All the fans are on the far sideline. That penalty was illegal motion, so now Schrader will attempt the extra point, kicking from the 15-yard line. Dennis Dahl to hold. Ball is down, the kick goes up, has some distance, and it is good. So Schrader kicks the extra point, and with 8:51 remaining in the third period, our score is now Stratford 29, Loyal nothing. And we'll come back for more football from Loyal in just a moment. Well, the Stratford Tigers have now scored on their last 3 possessions, if you discount that field goal try on the one-play possession at the end of the second quarter. So the Tigers building some momentum. They now lead 29-0, and Darrow Schrader will kick the ball off once again. Corey Cressell back deep for Loyal. Here's a line drive boot. Cressell back at the 5-yard line to grab it. Comes back to the 10, the 15, the 20. Runs into his own man, crosses the 25, and is stopped just across the 25-yard line. And on the stop, Dennis Dahl makes the tackle for the Stratford Tigers.
Bright now has 3 catches tonight, Gene, for 154 yards.
Boy, he's a talented ball player. Coach Knopf feels he can play some college football somewhere. He's big enough, 6'3½", 208. He might make a pretty good state conference ball player. Loyal football at their own 28-yard line. 1st and 10. The Greyhounds now down 29-0, and on first down, a handoff straight ahead as the ball goes to Doug Rail for a couple of yards. He gets out near the 30-yard line, pushed back. They'll spot it on the 29. It'll be 2nd and about 8.
2nd down.
The Loyal offensive line, by the way, the tackles, Grant Koski and Todd Olson. The guards, Mark Stumpner and Vaughn Lose. And the center is Big Bob Schultz. It's 2nd and 8 Loyal at their own 29. Split backfield behind Brad Jadarski. And Brad wants to throw the football. He fires to the far side, hits Abramson, who drops the ball at the 30-yard line. And with that very ferocious rush by the bigger Stratford ball players, I think that Coach Shadarski's feeling is, let's just stick with the short, quick pass right now.
Yeah, that was just a little 8 or 9 yard hook pattern, but the ball was, I think, thrown slightly behind him. He couldn't quite get a hold of it.
So a 3rd and long now for the Greyhounds. 3rd and 8 at their own 29-yard line. Mike Olson, tight end near side. Tom Abramson, the tight end on the far side. And Dean Schiller is the wing far side. Split backfield behind Brad Jaderski. He drops back to throw again, fires near side. The ball is knocked loose, incomplete, and Mike Olson came very, very close to an offensive interference call as he kind of got in the way of Darren Sirianni, who came from behind to try to intercept that pass. The ball was hung up. It looked like Sirianni had the angle, and Olson hooked him, and neither one could reach the football.
But the pass again was hurried because of the rush.
Yes, it was, and when you're rushing a young sophomore like Stratford is, you can cause a lot of problems. On 4th down, Lovestad back to punt the ball away again for Loyal, gets a good snap, and again he boots it out of there, a very fine high kick. Dahl back at the 35-yard line of Stratford, straight ahead to the 40, the 45, and he's hit right there and stopped just shy of the 45-yard line. And Corey Krasselt on the tackle for the Loyal Greyhounds.
Tackle by Bob Schultz.
So again, the Stratford Tigers with very good field position. The ball is on their own 45. We have 7.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and Stratford already up 29-0. And Todd Colbeck once again quarterbacking, although here comes Jody Schwabe in now. Both of these guys are very capable either as quarterbacks or running backs. So you Stratford fans will see these guys in the same backfield quite a bit this season. And right now, Colbeck is the quarterback. Schwabe lines up as a running back. And the handoff goes straight ahead. This is Jeff Colbeck across the 50-yard line. A nice game. Boy, I'll tell you what, this Jeff Colbeck is doing a great job for the Tigers tonight.
28 yards and 7 carries.
He's also scored a touchdown or two. He scored 1 touchdown and two two-point conversions. Getting a lot of playing time tonight since Gary Zilke was shaken up earlier in the ball game, and Gary was carried off or helped off by some teammates, but he's standing and seems to be in good health right now. From the 50, 2nd down, here's a pitch to Schwabe. Lots of running room near side, the Loyal 40, 35, and finally taken down from behind inside the 30-yard line. Rick Reith on the tackle. A quick pitch to the near side, and Jody Schwabe got outside in a big hurry and carried all the way down inside the 30-yard line. They'll put it on the 28, and so that is a 22-yard carry for Schwabe. And a 1st down for Stratford. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Loyal 28. 6:27 remaining. 3rd period. Tigers lead 29-0. Kaiser and Colbeck in the backfield behind Todd Colbeck. And here's Jeff Colbeck straight ahead, a quick opener. Inside the 25 down to about the 23. He reels off 5 more yards before Rick Reith makes the tackle. Doug Rail also there for an assist.
One thing that Tom Knauf has the pleasure of doing tonight, of course, for Stratford is to play a lot of his players in the different positions. You normally don't always get that chance early in the season.
That's right, Ron. 2nd and 5 for Stratford at the Loyal 23-yard line. Quarterback is Todd Colbeck, and on the inside counter, he will give the ball to Landwehr, who carries the ball for the first time and gets virtually nothing. Try to get outside on Mark Stumpner, and Stumpner tackles Mark Landwehr at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So it's 3rd and 5 for Stratford. The ball back at the Loyal 23. One thing that Coach Tom Knauf felt was a weakness of his team coming into this season, outside speed, but they have shown that a couple of times tonight. That last long run by Jody Schwabe, for instance. Here's a 3rd and 5 for Stratford. Jeff Colbeck on the handoff off tackle, spinning away from tackles, carries the ball inside the 20-yard line. I believe he'll be shy of the 1st down by a yard or two, but certainly a very strong effort by Jeff Colbeck. And now a 4th and 1 for the Tigers at the Loyal 19. And presumably in this situation, the Tigers will go for it. Colbeck and Jody Schwabe, the split backs behind Todd Colbeck. And Todd will hand the ball to Schwabe straight ahead. He is set but dives forward, may have the first down. Bob Schultz hit him right in the center of the line, but Schwabe kept those legs churning and fought forward and picked up the first down.
Second effort got that first down.
And here comes an entirely new unit for Stratford. 10 new ball players come in the ball game for the Stratford Tigers. And I think the only one who's going to... Now here comes an 11, so they will all change. And Kurt Spaeth, a sophomore, will be the new quarterback. Well, we'll pick up these guys as we can. Kurt Spaeth is the quarterback. The running backs are Scott Denny and Mark Kraus. And Spaeth will hand the ball to Denny. He cuts outside, gets down near the 15-yard line, a couple of yards there for Scott Denny. Well, Stratford coach Tom Knopf has the chance to see a lot of his ball players. We're only midway through the third period, 4:05 remaining in the quarter. And his ball club leading 29-0. Ball's on the 16. It's a 2nd and 9. Spaeth hands to Denny again, straight ahead, fighting for yardage. A flag goes down, and Denny got virtually nothing.
Well, that's thrown by the umpire, who stations himself behind the defensive line, so it's going to be a major penalty, probably holding.
It is a holding call against Stratford. You're right, Ron. And that will move the ball back. Well, we'll try to pick up some of these Stratford ball players. As we mentioned, the quarterback now is Kurt Spaeth. Darren Sirianni is in the ball game. He's at a wing. Running backs are Scott Denny and Mark Kraus.
Holding against Stratford.
Try to pick up some of those new linemen. Jason Schmidt is in the ball game. He is a lineman. Jason McHugh, a senior, is in the ball game at one of the end spots. It looks like Todd Kraus has come in the ball game. He's in the offensive line. And we'll pick up some of these guys as we can. Ball's now back at the 25-yard line. Stratford has to get down to about the 7 for a first down. It is 2nd down, and Spaeth will hand to Denny again. A gaping hole off tackle. He goes straight ahead inside the 15-yard line, where he is finally tackled in the defensive secondary by Loyal's Ken Lovestad. And here comes Steve Landwehr now in the ball game for Stratford, and he will replace Kraus. Mark Kraus will leave.
14-yard line.
Now down to the 13-yard line. It's 3rd and about 7. And Spaeth again leads up the Stratford Tigers. And he hands to Denny, trying to get outside. Oh, he got hit hard just inside the line of scrimmage. A flying through the air tackle, I believe that was Dean Schiller, who came in there like Superman and did a great job knocking down Denny at about the 11-yard line. So it's 4th and about 5 for Stratford, and Landwehr leaves. Kraus is back in. Mark Kraus back in the backfield for Stratford. And we'll see what the Tiger strategy is here with their 2nd unit in the ball game late in the 3rd period. Spaeth, the quarterback, will turn and hand the ball to Denny straight ahead. He's spinning in the interior line across the 5-yard line, then pushed back. We'll see where they spot the football.
By Mark
Stumpner and Reith on the tackle. Looks like Denny's close to a first down, and it looks like the Tigers do have that first down. I'm going to measure it, I believe. Chains are coming in for the first time tonight. And being stretched. And it is a first down for Stratford. So the Tigers, with their 10th play in this drive, keep their drive going. With 2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period, and Stratford leading Loyal 29-0. Robert Kaiser now leading the ball game for Stratford. Denny and Kraus, the split backs behind Spaeth. Corey Haig is a receiver on the far side, and Spaeth will hand the ball off to Kraus, gets outside, turns the corner, and is stopped short of the goal line. Back at Stumpner again on the tackle, along with the Todd Olson. Kraus carrying for the first time, gets the ball down to the 3-yard line, where it is 2nd and goal. Tigers trying to add another score with their 2nd unit in the ball game. And Scott Denny Right behind quarterback Todd Spaeth. There's a handoff straight ahead to Robert Kaiser. And he gets a yard or two in the interior line. Tigers keeping the ball on the ground. And Tom Abramson makes that tackle for Loyal. And the ball's now down at the 1 yard line. So it's 3rd and goal for Stratford from the 1. Tigers taking their time. This is the 13th play in this drive. Denny and Kraus, the split backs behind Spaeth. Spaeth to Denny, off tackle, and he is in for the touchdown. That is a 13-play, 55-yard drive for Stratford. And the Tigers now on top, 35-0. Well, now let's see what the Tigers want to do about the extra point. First half of that drive by the Tigers' first unit, and then the scoring portion by the second team. And a 35-0 lead now for the Stratford Tigers. This is a 2-point conversion attempt. The handoff to Spaeth, keeps the ball, tries to get outside, and gets in for the 2. So the quarterback, Kurt Spaeth, carries it in, and the Stratford Tigers pad their lead with 1:03 remaining in the third period. It's now Stratford 37, Loyal nothing. We'll come back with more football in just a moment.
Going to the game, Amity Redmond Ceramics in Pittsville.
Well, once again, Darryl Schrader will kick off for the Stratford Tigers. His team now leading 37-0. We are late in the third period. The kick by Schrader. End-over-end kick to Corey Cresselt at the 12-yard line. He tries the far side to the 20. Gets away from a couple of guys and gets out near the 25-yard line.
Well, Stratford getting a chance to use their entire roster. I'm sure there'll be a number of new people in on defense. So, Gene, you're going to get a chance to call a lot of names tonight.
Well, thank you. It's an opportunity I really enjoy.
I know that.
But we do have a lot of old names in there defensively. John Schmidt, Dan Drexler, Jody Schwabe. They're all still in the ball game defensively for Stratford. 1st and 10, Loyal at their own 24-yard line. Brad Jadarski, the quarterback, hands to Doug Rail, and he's hit by Gary Zilke and dropped in the backfield. Gary Zilke back in the ball game for Stratford. He was, we mentioned he was injured earlier, but he's back in there now, at least defensively. Wants to get back in there and be part of this big Stratford win. That was a loss of 3. The ball is back at the 21-yard line. And it's now 2nd and about 13. Doug Rail and Rick Reith, the split backs behind quarterback Brad Jadarski. And Jadarski will throw the football. Good protection. Fires deep down the far sideline, and the ball is knocked down. It's incomplete. It was knocked down by defensive back Jeff Downey. The ball intended for wingback Phil Stratton, and Downey, the closest man to the football, got a hand on it but couldn't hold it.
I think what Tom Knopf is doing, he wants to leave his number 1 defense in, and he's taking them out one by one after each play.
And that play ends the third quarter here at Loyal High School. Our score is Stratford 37, Loyal nothing. Back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
No need to. They're at 4362 Dairy Road, Arpin.
We start the fourth quarter with Stratford leading Loyal 37-0 here at Loyal High School. It's 3rd and 13, Loyal at their own 21. Brad Jadarski to throw. He's forced out of the pocket, rolls far side, fires deep down the far sideline, and the ball is dropped by defensive back Todd Kolbeck. I think he expected one of his teammates in front of him to make the interception. The ball came to Kolbeck and slithered right through his hands, incomplete.
Well, Loyal again now. 4 4th and long. They're going to have to kick the ball away and hope that they can stop Stratford from pouring even more points on the Spire.
Brad Jadarski has had his difficulties completing passes tonight.
Well, he's been harried, Gene, throughout most of the night. He hasn't really had a chance to set up, and again, that'll happen with a young, inexperienced ball club.
And he is only a sophomore, and better things expected of him in the future. Lovestad to punt the ball away. Here's the kick. Another beautiful kick by Lovestad, and it sends Schwabe back to about the 33-yard line of Stratford. He dances away from a couple of tacklers and falls across the 40-yard line.
Tackle by Rick Reed.
So Loyal High School gives up the football. They will go back on defense, and the Stratford Tigers come out with a big lead. It's 1st and 10 Tigers. The ball officially placed at the 39-yard line of Stratford. We have 11 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the ball game, and Stratford leading this contest 37-0. The quarterback is once again Kurt Spaeth, and on 1st down, he gives the ball to Robert Kaiser, who gets about a yard out to the 40.
Run by Robert Kaiser. Tackle by Rick Reed. Tackle by Rick Reed.
So the ball's at the 40-yard line. It's now 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9, Stratford at their own 40. And Spaeth hands to Downey off tackle. Downey gets out to about the 43-yard line, where he's pushed back by Mark Stumpner.
Tackle by Joel Bauer.
Krasselt also there. Todd Olson and Dean Schiller. Stratford, we presume, will primarily keep the ball on the ground from here on in. Ball is now on the 43-yard line of the Tigers. It is 3rd and about 7. Kurt Spaeth getting a lot of work at quarterback, and this time he hands the ball to Corey Haig, who jumps across the 45-yard line, and is stopped by Krasselt and Olson and Rail and Bauer at about the 47.
Tackle made by Todd Olson.
So a 4th down situation for Stratford, 4th and 2 at the 47-yard line, and the Tigers will rush their punting unit back on the ball field.
You know, for all practical purposes, of course, this game is over, but both coaches can learn a lot from about their players right now. Those on Stratford who are trying to prove themselves, and those on Loyal who will want to play when they're way behind.
Now here's Dan Drexler punting for the Tigers for one of the few times tonight. He gets a good snap and gets the kickoff, and he boots one way down the field. Krasselt back, drops the ball at the 10-yard line, kicks it right there, and is snowed under. Ollie Schmidt gets down there and drops him hard inside the 10-yard line with help from Mike Bright. And Loyal will again have very poor field position starting this drive.
Made by Mike Bright.
It's 1st and 10 Greyhounds, and they'll spot it right around the 10-yard line.
Ball is on the 10-yard line, 1st and 10.
9 minutes and 38 seconds left in regulation in this contest. Stratford leading Loyal 37-0. Tomorrow night we'll be in Nakusa, the Marshfield Tigers and Nakusa Papermakers in the Tigers season opener. Brad Jadarski quarterbacking. He wants to throw on 1st down. Pop pass over the middle is caught by Rick Reith, and he carries the ball outside to the 15-yard line, just across the 15,
Rick Reith,
where he's down in the defensive backfield by Jeff Downey.
By Chris Spindler.
Some of those short passes have worked rather effectively for Loyal tonight.
2nd down.
2nd and 3 for the Greyhounds at their own 17-yard line. Dean Schiller now in as a wing for the Greyhounds. Jadarski on the draw, gives the ball to Reith, straight ahead. He's hit from behind, but falls forward across the 20 and should have the 1st down.
If my statistics are correct, that is Loyal's first down here in the 2nd half.
Well, Stratford has been pretty tough ever since that long touchdown pass between Schwabe and Bright midway through the 2nd period. The Tigers have been virtually unstoppable. They scored on 4 consecutive possessions. They now lead 37-0 with 8.5 remaining. 1st and 10 Greyhounds at their own 22-yard line. Jadarski rolls to the near side, wants to throw, fires, and the ball is intercepted. And the Stratford defensive back Jeff Downey makes the interception, downed immediately at the Tiger 35-yard line.
Jeff Downey.
So each team now with an interception tonight.
Yeah, Jadarski's now 4 for 17. It's a tough baptism for a sophomore, but he'll get better and better and better as each game goes along.
And the Stratford Tigers have possession once again, 1st and 10 at the Loyal 34. With 8:12 remaining, the Tigers lead 37-0. Kurt Spaeth, the quarterback again on first down. He hands the ball to Downey, gets outside, 30, 25. And a group of Greyhounds fall on him as he crosses the 25-yard line. Looks like Downey has the first down.
Tackle by Ron Lewis.
And the ball's now down at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
23-yard line. 1st and 10 Stratford.
Tigers moving the ball pretty effectively now, even with their second unit, as that Greyhound ball club has to be pretty much worn down. Kurt Spaeth quarterbacking, gives the ball to Corey Haig, gets outside of the 20, turns the corner, runs inside the 15-yard line.
Ball run by Corey Haig.
And the Tigers, even the second unit right now, looking pretty good. So the Stratford Tigers in command of this one.
15-yard line.
That was a 9-yard pickup for Haig. It's 2nd and 1 from the 14-yard line of Loyal. And here is the Stratford second squad moving the football pretty effectively against this Loyal defense. Spaeth will hand the ball off to Robert Kaiser straight ahead, and Kaiser will be close to a first down.
By Robert Kaiser.
It's Todd Olson, Vaughn Lose on the tackle for Loyal. Also in there, Joe Bauer.
Give him 1 yard, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. He's very close to a first down, about a half yard shy.
Ball is on the 12-yard line. 3rd down.
3rd and about a half a yard from the 12 and a half. We have some interior line movement, and it looks like a penalty will be charged.
Loyal.
It's an offensive offside call against Stratford.
I saw a Loyal man move, but he was obviously pulled off, so Loyal was the team that was pulled offside by a Stratford movement.
So the ball goes back to the 18-yard line.
Ball is on the 18-yard line. 3rd down.
Haig and Denny, the split backfield behind Spaeth. You can bet the Tigers will keep the ball on the ground. Here is Haig on a reverse, gives the ball to Krause, and he's stopped in the backfield, back around the 22, and then a flag goes down.
Face mask.
Yeah, one of the Loyal ball players may have grabbed a piece of hardware. Krause actually stopped back at the 22. The play lost 4 yards. But on top of that, we do have a face mask call.
Face mask against Loyal.
Coach Bill Jadarski standing along the Loyal sidelines with his assistants, Steve Vanderwist and Jim McBride. And their ball club played very well for the first 18 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But just not able to stick with this more experienced and much bigger Stratford ball club tonight.
Now let's see, this should be probably half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul, which should take it down to about the 11, which should make it close to a first down.
Yes, it'd be very close. If not a first down, then 3rd and inches. Well, we'll see exactly where they do spot it. At the 12, it is a face mask against Loyal, and it is 3rd down about a half a yard.
3rd down, about a half a yard. Ball is on the 12-yard line.
Haig and Denny, the split backs behind Corey Spaeth, or Kurt Spaeth. And it's Denny hit in the backfield. He'll be dropped by Doug Rail and by Todd Olson. So the Loyal defense standing in and stopping that charge. Ball's now back at the 18-yard line. That play lost 6. And it's 4th. Well, excuse me. They're going to mark it back at about the 16. So it's 4th and about 4. And the Tigers will go for it with less than 6 minutes to play. They have a big lead. Spaeth will hand the ball off, and Kaiser looking for running room but has none off tackle. He stopped near the line of scrimmage, and that will end that drive. And Loyal will take over on downs.
Tackle made by Vaughn Lewis.
Greyhounds will regain control of the football with 5:40 remaining. And the Tigers leading 37-0. Don't forget, folks, you can pick up your WDLB sports handbooks at numerous spots around central Wisconsin. Stop into some of your area business establishments and ask for your handbook. Do it today. Loyal football on the Greyhound 18. Brad Jadarski will throw. Hit as he throws, and the ball pops loose. It'll be an incomplete pass. A very heavy rush by Greg Shanefoos. A penalty flag is down, but Shanefoos hit Jadarski real hard just as Brad let loose of the football.
Yeah, he was hit from the blind side. He never saw him coming. It's an illegal procedure penalty against Loyal, which will probably be refused.
By the way, this Stratford football team will make their home debut next Friday night in Stratford against Rosholt. Meanwhile, the Loyal football team moves over to Spencer to play another Merriwood Conference school, the Spencer Rockets, next Friday evening. The options being discussed with Robert Kaiser of Stratford High School, who is acting as field captain right now.
Well, he declines the penalty, so it'll be 2nd down.
Ball still on the 18-yard line. We're at 2nd and 10. That was one of the hardest hits we've seen all night, that hit that Shanefoos put on Jadarski. Rail and Reith still the split backs behind Brad Jadarski on 2nd and 10. Jadarski will throw again, fires to the far sideline. Olsen is there, and the ball's intercepted. Looks like Darren Sirianni has it. Back to the 30, 25, 20. Dances down the sideline and ruled out of bounds around the 10-yard line by Todd Olsen. It is Darren Sirianni on the interception.
Tackled by Todd Olsen.
So the Stratford Tigers have their 2nd interception of the night. Darren Sirianni picks this one off and returns it down to about the 10-yard line of Loyal. And again, Stratford has a great scoring chance, whether they want to score or not.
Now, let's see if there's any new running backs in there. I think there might be at least one.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Let's get them all in there. The more, the better. I think there is a possibility that the Tigers could get a 1st down. The ball's just outside the 10. We have an official standing along the near sideline at about the 30, the Stratford 30, looking. I think he wants a new football.
Well, the other one must be tired.
I guess so. I don't know. Now, in Illinois, you know, you can choose your football.
Yes.
Between rubber or leather. I'm not sure you can do that in this state or not.
I don't know what the rule is on that.
But in Illinois, if one team wants to use a rubber ball, the other team wants to use a leather ball, they'll switch. You have your choice. Ball is just outside the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for Stratford at the Loyal 11, and Spaeth fumbles the snap, and the ball goes to Loyal. The Greyhounds recover the fumbled snap. Try to pick up the Loyal hero, the guy who fell on that football. May have been Doug Rail.
Fumble recovered by Doug Rail.
And so Loyal gets the ball right back again with 4:45 remaining, and Stratford leading 37-0.
Now the question is, will Loyal put the ball back in the air in an attempt to get on the scoreboard and risk another interception?
Well, we'll see what the strategy is. Loyal football on their own 13. Clock is moving. Brad Jadarski at quarterback. And he will hand the ball off to Doug Reel, who comes across the 20-yard line and down right there. And on the stop for Stratford, it's Jason McHugh.
Tackle made by Jason McHugh.
And the Stratford second-team defense looking pretty tough against Loyal here.
Well, that's what I said before. Tom Knopf will find out who really wants to play and who can move up perhaps in the depth chart a little bit.
Reith and Rail still in the backfield behind Jadarski on second down. It's Rail again. Straight ahead, he dives across the 25-yard line, and he has a first down for Loyal. The Stratford tackle made by Scott Juneman.
Tackle by Scott Juneman.
So the Loyal Greyhounds pick up another first down.
First down,
at the 27-yard line of the Greyhounds. 3:45 left, and Stratford leads Loyal 37-0. Sophomore quarterback Brad Jadarski has gone all the way for the Greyhounds. He will pass the ball again, fires over the middle screen to Reith at the 30, 35, gets away from McHugh, gets outside to near the 40, and Robert Kaiser brings him down right there with help from Robin Kaiser. Kaiser and Kaiser on that play. And that's another Loyal first down. That middle screen picks up 13 yards.
That's the 6th first down for Loyal tonight.
Well, the Greyhounds sure like that middle screen play. They've called it several times this evening. And the Greyhounds starting to move the football. Maybe a bit too late. 3:15 to go, and they trail by 37. Rail and Reith, the split backs behind Brad Jadarski. And Jadarski will throw the ball again, rolls near side, gets a block from Reith, fires and throws it incomplete.
Threw it behind the receiver that time, Gene.
At the 50-yard line, Tom Abramson was there, but as you mentioned, Ron, the ball was behind him, and no real chance for the reception by Abramson.
Now for the night, it's 5 for 21 for Jadarski.
2nd and 10 for Loyal at their own 40-yard line. Jadarski again to throw, fires near side, and the ball is caught by Abramson at midfield. He fights his way across the Stratford 45, and a Loyal first down. And that play gains about 16 yards. Jadarski to Abramson on the play. 1st and 10 for Loyal at the Stratford 45 with under 3 minutes remaining, and Stratford leading 37-0. Todd Kolbeck rushes into play in the defensive secondary for the Tigers. Jadarski will throw again. He's going to throw deep down the middle, and Jason McHugh right there to intercept for Stratford. Brings the ball back to the 30-yard line. He's tackled right there, and Jadarski throws his 3rd interception of the night. He was hurried again. He got a big pass rush from Greg Shanefoos, put the ball up for grabs over the middle, and Jason McHugh makes the interception. Stratford gets the ball back with 2:44 remaining, and the Tigers lead 37-0.
Ball is on the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Stratford.
Stratford first down on their own 31. And once again, we'll see a lot of new faces for the Tigers. The quarterback is still Kurt Spaeth. And right away, we have a flag down. And we have an illegal procedure call against the Tigers. So the ball will go back to the 26-yard line. We'll have a complete update on all the local and national sports news tomorrow morning at 6:45, 7:45, and 8:45 right here on WDLB. So please stay with us for complete sports coverage. It's 1st and 15 for Stratford at their own at 26, and Spaeth will hand the ball off straight ahead. And once again, we have a lot of new faces in there. That may have been Robert Kaiser carrying again, or Kraus rather. We'll see. No, it's a totally new guy.
Yep.
It's Brian Larson.
Brian Larson.
And Brian Larson gained about 2 yards out to the 28-yard line. It's now 2nd and 13, under 2 minutes to play in this ball game. Bernie Wenzel is also in the backfield now, and it's Wenzel on the carry across the 30 back to the original line of scrimmage. A lot of new guys in there. Stratford coach Tom Knopf has seen virtually everyone tonight. Wenzel out to the 30. Let's see where they spot it exactly. There is, however, a penalty flag down. And the Stratford ball players are being held up before they come out of their huddle. And the Tigers look like they're going to get an option here. That must have been a Loyal penalty.
Well, I didn't pay any attention to where the flag came from this time, Gene, so we're going to have to wait and see. This is the time of a ball game with the score being what it is that you like to see the officials keep the flags in their pockets, but they're obligated to call the game as best they can.
And they've done a good job tonight. This appears to be a major penalty against Loyal. The ball will go all the way outside the 40-yard line to the 42. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Greyhounds.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Loyal.
That's the second time we've seen that call against Loyal tonight. Of course, a lot of these guys must be pretty frustrated about their inabilities this evening.
That could be
90
almost
seconds
anything.
to play. And the Greyhounds trailing by 37. Spaeth will hand the ball off again, and this time it is Brad Slaminski carrying all the way inside Loyal territory, down to the Greyhound 45-yard line. Call out the 44. Slaminski gets 14 yards on that play. Clock is moving, 1:15 remaining. And Stratford on top, 37-0. Kurt Spaeth, the Stratford quarterback, throughout much of the second half.